Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at the fact that VMAXs are gone forever. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You know those Pokémon VMAXs that we've been having an awful lot of fun with, and they've been around since Sword and Shield? Well, I hate to break it to you, but it seems very, very, very much like Fusion Strike is going to be the set that gives us our very final VMAXs. We have seen that Mew VMAX, for instance, is going to be in that set, and that is probably going to end up being the last big VMAX we get, the last real headline VMAX that we actually see in the Pokemon trading card game. I'm not saying we will never see another one or anything like that, but I am saying that everything we can see makes it overwhelmingly likely that VMAXs are going to be ending with Fusion Strike. So of course then we get to the question of, well, hang on a second, Wassy, where'd you end up there? And the answer is Arceus VStar. You see, we had a bunch of information, well, a couple of days ago, depends when this video goes up, about Arceus VStar, and we were shown both the English and the Japanese versions of it. And in that, we actually had a whole bunch of information. Now, I've already been told by a bunch of people, or seen a bunch of people posting, that Arceus VStar is not confirmed for our next set. Yes, it is. Now, I know they haven't come out and said that, but all we need to do is follow through with the way that Japan works and how our sets relate to Japan. You see, Japan doesn't have set symbols, they just have set numbers or codes, or call it what you will. So Arceus VStar in Japan is from the set S9, which is to say the 9th Sword and Shield set. Now, as another side note, and I know we're going off in all different directions here, but I promise it'll make sense in the end, this actually tells us quite a bit. Because I have been suggesting for a while that it is very likely that we are going to be getting Pokemon TCG sets that are based around the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl games. But I didn't know whether it was going to be like Primal Clash, in that it would still be a Sword and Shield set, in the same way that Primal Clash was an X and Y set, but Primal Clash was still Gen 3 remake. It was still Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but it was within the X and Y sets. So I didn't know if it was going to be like that, it's still Sword and Shield, but it's bringing in the Gen 4 remakes, or whether it was going to be like Heart Gold Soul Silver with the Gen 2 remakes, whereby they actually started their own mini block. And the fact that it is set S9 tells us that it is Sword and Shield 9, not DP1 or something along those lines. So what that tells us is that if they are sets that are going to be themed around Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and I think they very much might be, that is unconfirmed, it's still going to be a Sword and Shield set. But we know it's Sword and Shield 9, and we know that Fusion Arts is Sword and Shield 8, and that means that the next set in Japan is going to be Starbirth, which is going to be the Arceus set. Incidentally, we also know that the set is definitely going to be called Starbirth, because remember how the Japanese set that brought us Pikachu and Zekrom was called Tag Bolt, because their GX attack was called Tag Bolt? Well, we know that the V-Power is going to be called Starbirth on Arceus VStar, so that tells us that the name of the Japanese set is actually going to be Starbirth. Boom! We are connecting all of the dots. And because the next Japanese set is going to be Starbirth with Arceus VStar, then the next English set is going to be the one with Arceus VStar. It is going to be the one that comes out after Fusion Strike. Currently rumoured for a March 25th release. That is not confirmed. We do not know that for a fact. So with all of that said then, how do we know that VMAXs are going? Well, first of all, let's not forget that the set before Starbirth in Japan, the one coming out at the start of December, is called VMAX Climax. And for a while, I told you that VMAX Climax could well be the end of the Sword and Shield block, or it could just be the end of VMAXs. We didn't really have enough information. We knew that the Climax was there for a reason, but we didn't know if it was just going to be VMAXs going away or whether the Sword and Shield block would finish early. Essentially, VMAX Climax is the end of year 2, and we generally get 3 years per block. Or whether it was going to be just the end of VMAXs. Well, now we've got our answer. And we haven't been told that V-Star Pokemon are replacing VMAXs, but they basically are. They have to be. Here's a bunch of reasons. Firstly, they are functionally very similar to VMAXs. That is to say, they evolve from Pokemon V. Arceus VStar evolves from Arceus V in the same way that Eternatus VMAX evolves from Eternatus V. And it doesn't really make much sense to have two different mechanics, both of which evolve from Pokemon V. That's too confusing for a casual or younger audience, bearing in mind that the Pokemon trading card game is primarily aimed at casual and younger audiences. So that wouldn't make a huge amount of sense. But we've also got the fact that V-Star Pokemon give up 2 prizes rather than 3. And this again is a discussion we need to get more into on another day. But my point is, it makes no sense to have, 280 HP 2 prize V-Star Pokemon, and then in the same set, go and have 320 HP 3 prize VMAX Pokemon. And to be fair, it's not necessarily, 320 is around about the average. Something like Center Scorch, as an example, has 320, but there are a whole bunch of Pokemon out there. Look at something like Butterfree that comes in with 300. It's 20 HP more than Arceus V-Star, but it gives up an extra prize. Again, this is not guaranteed, but it doesn't make much sense, and that's kind of my point here. When you look at V-Star and you see that they evolve in the same way as VMAXs do, and you see that they only give up 2 prizes rather than giving up 3, keeping VMAXs in the same set stops making any real kind of sense. These are cards which don't look like they should be existing together. V-Star look like a very obvious replacement for VMAXs. It just makes too much sense for them to be a new thing and to be a replacement. Plus, of course, then V-Star have these V-Star powers, but you'd still have VMAXs in the same set, but they don't have V-Star powers. That's going to be unnecessarily confusing. Now, a couple people did comment yesterday after my video, or a couple of days ago, depending on when this goes up, are the V-Stars textured? Yes, they are, and you can actually see that on the Japanese scan. The English scan we've got isn't clear enough. The Japanese scan absolutely is. And if we use Butterfree as another example, because I don't know why not, Butterfree VMAX, beautiful card, have a Japanese version of it, am delighted by that. Shout out to the lovely Antoine Boulet for that one. But it's not a particularly good card. But you can see the rarity in Japan is RRR. Yeah, Japan has weird rarities, alright? Whereas if we look at Arceus V-Star in Japan, oh look, it's got that same rarity of RRR, and that's another thing here. It's the same rarity as VMAXs, and everything that we can see about Pokemon V-Star is telling us that they are replacing VMAXs. Because they are, quite frankly. Same rarity, same kind of evolution, similar HP, but they only give up 2 prizes rather than 3, and I didn't make this super clear earlier, so let me say it now. That's the end of 3 prize Pokemon. Tag teams rolled straight into VMAXs. We've had 3 prize Pokemon, well, since Team Up came out initially and brought us the first tag team Pokemon. 3 prize Pokemon are gone, and I don't want to be that guy, but I really hope 3 prize Pokemon stay gone. That would make me very, very happy indeed. Certainly at the moment, it looks a lot like they are very much gone and are not going to be coming back, at least in the short term. And to give one more reason here, does it really make sense to bring in these new 2 prize Pokemon while keeping 3 prize Pokemon? Nah. The fact of the matter is, VMAX Climax is a very natural stopping point. It is the end of the second year. So you have VMAXs for 2 years and then you get rid of them. You replace them with V-Star. And, I've given a bunch of reasons already, but one more, which is a fairly simple reason, VMAXs take away. We don't want people getting excited about VMAXs. VMAXs, some of them are very good. Pokemon don't want you getting excited about a new VMAX. They want you getting excited about VStar. So I suppose what I'm saying to you is this. If there is a particular Pokemon about which you are getting very excited, of whom you are a big fan, where you really think they deserve a VMAX, gutted. Because the last ones that are coming are going to be in Fusion Strike, and they're already determined. For anyone that missed it, as well as Mew VMAX, we've also got Boltund VMAX, which has been shown off in English. Chandelure VMAX, which is the best artwork of any VMAX we've seen so far. And Greedent VMAX, which I am hyper excited about. I think it is a great card. That's it. Now, VMAX Climax might have some new VMAXs. We have actually seen 3 VMAXs in VMAX Climax, but we've got an alternate art of Rayquaza, an alternate art of Duraludon, and a character rare of Pikachu. And I am expecting a couple more character rares, but I am absolutely not expecting any more VMAXs. They could bring some more in the new set in VMAX Climax. But why would they not have shown off some of the new ones when they showed us the set initially? Oh, I should mention Kingler VMAX. Kingler VMAX, of course, is in those 100 start decks, which are coming out in Japan. And actually, as I'm talking, I might change my mind a tiny bit. There is a chance, and I'm not saying there's a big chance, but there is a chance that there are some unrevealed VMAXs from the 100 start decks. We know that Kingler is a new VMAX, which is coming for the very first time in the 100 start decks. We have been shown 7 of the 100 decks. There could be some new VMAXs in there. Again, it would be a little bit weird if they showed off some of the less exciting decks and they didn't show us the new VMAXs. It is possible that there are some unrevealed new ones in VMAX Climax, but they did a set reveal without showing off any new ones. There is a possibility that there are some new ones in the 100 start decks. We know Kingler's coming. There could be more, although again, they didn't show them off during the reveal. But that is your last chance. And I'm not brilliantly hopeful there's new VMAXs in either of those. I think 100 start decks is your better chance. But if it's not completely over, it is really coming down to the wire. As a side note, I don't know where we get things like Kingler VMAX. It could end up being a promo. It could actually have to be put in whatever our V-Star set is. So we could actually have a couple of VMAXs in the set, even though it doesn't make a huge amount of sense. But just to be clear, that wouldn't be new VMAXs, that would just be us catching up with Japan. I feel very confident that Starbirth in Japan will have no VMAXs. So maybe there's still a couple yet to be revealed, but as it stands at the moment, VMAXs are over. And if I've called this video something like no more VMAXs ever, or gone forever, or something like that, yeah, there might be 1 or 2 unreleased cards from revealed products. But that is your lot, ladies and gentlemen. When we get over to Starbirth and whatever the equivalent is over here, there's a chance they keep VMAXs, but I feel very confident saying that they are gone. Sad times. So now I suppose this is one of those videos where more than ever I really need to hear from you guys. I want to know what you think about VMAXs. I want to know what your opinion of them has been. I want to know if you're happy to see them go or whether you'd rather they stayed around. So go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.